Hello, Kyle Ferroly welcoming you back to blind spot number 6 of the book, and that is the field of self-help. I have been a self-help junkie, I have to admit, for over 20 years. I love learning how to make my life better, be more productive, be happier, healthier. And when we perceive things through our environment and our mind takes it in a certain way and we store things and we compare things, our brain gets involved, our body gets involved. We may go to the doctor, we may not have the answer we want because they're basing it on symptoms instead of underlying problems. Where do we end up? Self-medicating, looking online for answers, reading books, going to gurus, whatever you may want to call it. I think it's a wonderful idea. Just like I think that counseling is a wonderful idea, and I think that acute health care in traditional medicine is a wonderful idea at the right time. But when it comes to self-help and personal growth and development and having a motivational coach or a life coach or anybody, a mentor, they have to understand, and sometimes if it's a book or somebody talking, you're not going to get that chance to tell them, hey, I'm not quite ready. My nervous system isn't there yet. My brain's not balanced. Can you slow down? Think about it like a GPS system. If you've heard that example or analogy before, it's kind of trendy lately. Just like Blind Spot is. I've had this book half written for 11 years and didn't know that Blind Spot was going to become a big thing when I finally decided to launch the book. Nonetheless, I understand that you have to have a starting point, just like a GPS system. It has to locate where you are before it can tell you how to get to point B. Well, the self-help books assume that you're ready to get going. And the motivational speakers and coaches and life coaches, they assume that they can just dig in and help you. But I'm here to tell you that after studying the mind for 20 years and studying the brain for 11 years, that we can't always think our way out of it. And that's a problem for most of us if we don't know that. The harder we try, the worse it gets usually. And most people don't stop when the warning signs come on of irritability, lack of energy, can't focus, trouble with relationships, whether it's personal or professional, productivity suffers, sleep suffers, you don't like your hobbies anymore, whatever it might be. These are all little signs. And we don't take it serious until we have something huge happen to us. And then we expect all the answers to be there yesterday to fix the problem. I want you to be more proactive instead of reactive. I know I was reactive for many years in my own life. I know what it feels like. And now I try to be more proactive every day. Are there things that still get me? Yes, I'm not going to admit it. I'm going to admit it, I should say. I'm not going to lie to you. There are things that still bother me. People that don't use blinkers, people that cut you off, people that post too much on Facebook, right? There are all these different things that we have our little quirks and we have to work through them. Are they really a big deal? No, it's not a big deal. But we make things a big deal. So when it comes to self-help, getting back on the train here, sorry, I like to go on different tangents, as you can probably tell. There's so much to know, and there's so many complexities of our lives that enter into this equation of these blind spots, and that what are you trying to find a solution for? And is that book, CD, tape, message, seminar, one-on-one discovery session, whatever it might be that you're having with people or materials, is it going to benefit you? It probably will at the right time. Again, in closing, if you're being chased by a bear, you don't need to know how to do Microsoft Excel. You don't need to know how to be productive. You don't need to know how to control your impulses. You need to survive. But you also don't know how to take in self-help material if you're in survival mode. So we have to follow through these blind spots, and we have to realize that self-help isn't the problem and traditional medicine isn't the problem. It's that we're not ready for it yet and we don't know what we really need. Does that make sense? So we need to become more in front of the problem. Albert Einstein reminds us that problems cannot be solved with the mindset that created them. We don't know sometimes what sets us off in our environment. We don't know the negative thoughts, unrealistic expectations, and irrational beliefs we have. Most of us don't know, unless they've been at my office or a colleague of mine, what their brain activity is doing for them or against them. Most of them don't know if their nervous system is jacked up and not working properly and stuck in that fear loop. Most of us don't know, when you go to your doctor, that there are other methods that you may not know about and they don't know about yet, called brain imaging or psychophysiology. They just kind of clump it into one category. Well, self-help, it's no different. It's not the book's fault. It's that we have to show up to the tennis lesson with a racket. We can't show up and expect to know how to play with our hand. That's called handball. It's a different sport. You have to learn how to execute the sport using a racket. Well, you have to execute your life knowing how to control your mind, brain, and body. if you truly want to be happy, healthy, and more productive. I hope this has been helpful for you and insightful, and I'll see you in the next video, which is the last blind spot of the book. I'll see you then. Thanks.